quick. You both stop the real quick touch. Double check the steering wheel. Roll.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
All out there. Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
It's the Lone Star before the All-Star. Race number 10 of the season. Already shaping up to be a good one with a variety of different drivers in victory lane. Season 6 has not disappointed. Welcome in, everybody, for the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside Alex Gagnon. And Alex, Love Where You Live 200 should be a good one. Mile and a half for these cookie cutter template tracks. Who's going to dominate here today?
People who I think are going to find a lot of success here tonight are going to be the folks who are able to run both ends of the racetrack, which may sound a little silly in a vacuum, but turns 1 and 2, turns 3 and 4 are not the same to one another here at Texas Motor Speedway. So you're going to find a little bit of a balance between the two. It's not as aggressive as, say, like Darlington with the way it's laid out, but there is a little bit of a difference in how you run the right half or the left half of this racetrack. So being sure to not chew up your stuff and only being focused on one side or the other, and being able to kind of keep that momentum up lap after lap across all elements of this D-shaped oval, I think is going to be really critical.
2026 season has seen a variety of tracks, and that kind of matches where we've seen a variety of different drivers in victory lane. So we'll take a look here at the points now. We're starting to get into that cutoff line, so mimicking the playoff format, but now in the chase format, you have drivers that, have to point their way in. There's no guarantees now with a victory. So contrary to, Rob Rader last year locking up the championship after having a pretty rough regular season, just the one win in the regular season, drivers can't do that anymore.
Yeah, no, and because of that, it does force you to be here week in, week out, really trying to hone your craft and get as many points as you can get. Right now, of course, Carter Lynn's the top of that, but we've got a really competitive field right now battling for those last couple spots here in the right half of that graphic.
Actually tied there, and then you look at the top 10 with Grant Turner getting his victory. Believe that was his first win in the Cup Series. And so, last year he would have been guaranteed a spot. He could have put it on cruise control, but he has to perform every single week. And for any of these drivers that might have a track that they don't favor, that they don't particularly do well at statistically, those are the tracks I think as a driver you need to look on the calendar and say, my average finish is here and I want it here. It's the only way I stay in the points.
Yeah, and being able to run week in, week out, that's something that a lot of drivers pride themselves on, but only a handful are able to truly do it and do it well. And these mile and a halves, if you had to pick one track type to feel like you're really nailing, this would be the style of racing to do, just because we go to so many of them. You see the race analysis on the screen here. It's going to be 134 laps tonight, about 200 miles. Pit road speed 45 mile an hour, 50% fuel as always, and six sets of tires to work with.
Now it's time to take you down trackside. Get the KLD Pole Award up on your screen. Starting on that top spot, it will be No, I take that back. Someone beat him at the last second. It's going to be Rob Rader starting on the top spot. And for some reason, I told you ATVO was being awesome today. Here we go. Let's get it going. Rob Rader, a 29.723 with Jeremy Burns, a 7.26. I'm surprised that he beat it. Carter Lenz and Trevor Keith will be row number 2, and then you have Michael Call and Justin Ritchie for row number 3. Dakota Floyd and Trevor Earhart will start 7th and 8th, and rounding out the top 10, Dylan Picklesheimer, Michael Bennett in the 14.
Yeah, looking back to row number 6, it'll be Kevin Orlando Jr. and Justice Murphy making up 11th and 12th. Brandon Richardson rolls off 13th alongside Grant Thorpe. Caleb Gilbert and Jeremiah Nelson will make up row number 8, just ahead of Alex Forget-Berube and Grant Turner. With the top 20 here today going to be Brandon Pamitat and Ryan Munoz.
32 cars on the racetrack here today, with Ben Lafter starting at 21st. We'll keep the grid going across your screen. But here from Texas Motor Speedway, the Lone Star State, ready to go live and racing. Here we go for Chapman Cup Series, the Love Where You Live 200, live on Vspeed. And we should have mentioned it at the beginning of the broadcast, but we missed it there. Michael Call, an EOL penalty to start this race off. So he actually qualified up towards the middle of the field. Had to go all the way to 32nd position, deep.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough climb for him to work his way back, but he's shown good speed in recent weeks. So I feel confident we're going to be seeing him making his way through the field here in just a little while.
And as you mentioned in the pre-race, 1 and 2, a little bit different than 3 and 4. Used to be pretty similar to tracks like Atlanta and Charlotte, where, you know, the banking was the same, the entry point was a little bit different, but you still had that exit off of 2, that exit off of 4. This track changed dramatically. Now you have to set your pass up for 3 and 4 by getting a good 1 and 2. It's not a matter of, oh, I'll just get them on the other side of the track. If you mess up any half of this racetrack, you're not going to pass cars.
No, you're really not. Everything is such a momentum-based situation here at Texas, and you know, if you don't get a good exit off of 2, which is very easy to do, leaving turn 2 is a very treacherous part of this racetrack. You don't get any speed to carry into 3 and 4, and because you can throttle up a little bit more on this side of the racetrack, if you're hurting out of 2, you're basically going to be down on speed all the way from the exit of 2 until you get back to the entrance of 1, and that's basically over a full mile that you're at a disadvantage compared to the cars around you. So exit coming off of this corner is really critical of setting up not only that straightaway, but really the lap as a whole.
We're right on board with Jeremy Burns. Take a lap around here at Texas. You get the driver camera on at the same time. You're watching Jeremy just kind of lock in, but you saw an attempt at a pass from Dakota Floyd. He got to the outside and won, but that outside line is going to take a while to work itself in. The bottom is really where you want to be here as you watch the 9 go all the way to that white line, protecting that inside, giving the 57 a little bit of dirty air as he ends up getting split 3 wide behind him. And I believe that was Trevor Keith who just took it on the inside for the 4th position. 3rd spot for Jeremy Burns up here. But yeah, that's a lap around Texas. That's the approach. Just try to keep it on the inside and hope that it sticks.
And one of the things that we were able to see there watching the telemetry for Jeremy Burns, on this side of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2, that car dips below 160. It's running high 150s, going around 1 and 2, but you're able to keep it up into the low 170s in 3 and 4. That's about a 15-mile-an-hour change between turns 1 to turn 2. So the way you attack it and the way you save tires in both, we're definitely going to see a difference, especially if we get a long green flag run here today. Because we'll see some folks who might be really good at maintaining their momentum through the slower turn 1 and 2 versus folks who are trying to blitz through 3 and 4, feeling like Superman because you can keep the throttle down a little bit more. Then you get 20 laps into the run, and all of a sudden, all the grip is gone.
And you mentioned that. I was just about to say Dylan Picklesheimer has picked up 4 spots, and Al Likens has picked up 16. So you got to wonder, are they overdriving 3 and 4? Are they overdriving any portion of this racetrack? You can pick up spots very quickly, but just this past week, I watched a race on Saturday night, and there was a lot of guys that made it up through the field, similar to this, where they gained 6, 7, even 10 positions. Then you said 20 laps? Yeah, I give them about 15, and they were starting to fall like a rock.
At least in Al Likens' case, being up about 15, 16 spots already, maybe make it 17 as he works on Michael Bennett here. Even if those tires start to go away, as long as he's running the stable line, he'll probably still be net positive. But if you're running as hard as Likens is right now and not seeing the gains for it on the racetrack, which is the case for basically anybody else who might be running this hard, you're going to end up going backwards here in how things shuffle out. But 13 doing a really good job right now of trying to maximize while those tires are fresh and really trying to pick them off one by one. So he's kind of stuck behind this battle here between Earhart and Floyd.
Got a lot of dirty air there off of 4.
Orlando was sideways off of turn 4.
A lot of dirty air for both those cars. Now, with Likens riding behind Floyd there when they were too wide, you had the 41 on the inside. There's no real good lane there. So you saw him kind of running a different line than both those drivers. And that's 3 and 4 in a nutshell. You have to have clean air on the nose or you're not going to be able to keep the speed up. Orlando sideways again.
That car really stepping out off of turn 4 on him right now. It's been a couple laps in a row now. We've seen him having a handful coming off of turn 4. Hasn't lost it yet, still running in the top 10, but that means, you know, if you're doing that multiple times over, you got to make an adjustment to your line on how you're exiting that corner to make sure you're not putting yourself in a vulnerable position, especially if you're in a side-by-side battle. Because if you're running single file, it's one thing. If you are next to another car and the car steps out like that, you could be in some real trouble.
Alex Forchet Berube just got around Caleb Gilbert for the 11th spot. One more to go for the top 10. And last time by, a 10th faster than Michael Bennett. He's catching him.
Yeah, good battle here for Jet's. Got a nose to the inside wheel here of the 14 as they make their way into 3. They'll have the spot you want to be in here. Now, the question is, does he have the ability to get the throttle up coming off of the corner to make something happen here down the front stretch? Looks like they're side by side. Got the shorter way around.
Bennett had a little bobble there.
Yeah.
Bobble. The top 10 now for Alex Forget.
Caleb Gilbert with him.
Now, sometimes navigating through this traffic, it's good to have a guy that's passing in front of you. It kind of opens up that door that otherwise might not have been there. So you see the side-by-side for Michael Bennett and Caleb Gilbert. Gilbert had just lost a spot to the 19, but probably content. If you're going to keep picking him off, I'll sit behind you. Jeremy Burns making a pass for second here. Lynn's way up the racetrack. Back-to-back wins there at Watkins Glen. And Kansas, I believe. I'm drawing a blank here.
You would be correct, yes.
All right.
Kansas and then the Glen.
Top 3 have pulled away, though, and it's been the same 3 names pretty much at all those tracks. With the exception of Rob Rader, he's had some bad luck in the midway points.
Yeah, we've seen him be up in the mix a couple of times in recent weeks, but then something goes awry. Right now, though, from the pole, has led the opening 14 laps and looking to make it 15 now. And Carter Lynn's not only got back around Burns for a second, he's right on the attack here to try to take the lead away from the 53. Door to door they go through 3 and 4.
You know what? I did it again. I did it again. You won't believe it.
Yeah?
Yep. This is the only league that I have this overlay for. The only one. They made it last year. And it's the only one that I have to remember to do this for. And I still, to this day, I have a checklist and it's just not on it. I'm going to write it down right now.
There we go.
Speaking of checklists, we're checking off 16 laps. Now on to 17. This is about the moment where you're going to see who was saving their stuff and who wasn't. The cars that picked up a lot of spots, like Al Likens, kind of went stagnant here in 8th. Starting to lose ground to Kevin Orlando. Alex Forget. Probably going to see some passing on the 13. Like you mentioned, Alex, it's probably still going to be a net gain for the 13 car. I don't foresee him losing 18 spots here in the next, 20 or so laps before we hit pit road.
Yeah, I would also be very surprised if that was the case. Stage tonight, of course, at lap 40, so if this thing runs the full way, they'll only have about another 20 or so laps. But he was so effective in gaining spots here on that initial run that he would have to have something really go wrong.
Problems with Picklesheimer. I don't know if he intended to come down pit road, but he was sideways on the apron.
Well, either way, he's there splitting the stage in half, and this is going to either willingly or unwillingly kick off the pit cycle. It looks like he was trying to come down onto the apron and then just was a little sideways and then really had to slow it up. But, yeah, first round of pit stop's going to be underway here. Stage is at lap 40. We're estimating about a 30 to 35 lap window for fuel here today, depending on how much you're saving or how aggressive you're pushing. You might be able to go a little bit further than that, but I suspect we'll see everyone pit here before the stage comes to a close.
Running beside Kyle Stewart, who just made a pass on the 77. Grant Thor at Watkins Glen. Pulled the strategy. He's got a little bit of damage on the front of the Dollar General 77, but watch his race just all come together last week. We have strategy in this one as well. You just mentioned 35 laps. There's the window. Haven't seen any games yet from the 77. Haven't really seen any games yet from the 39, but I wouldn't be surprised if these guys already have a plan in mind to get up front by the end of it.
Speaking of up front, this battle for the lead continues. Rob Rader trying to hold off Carter Linz right now, who's been trying to knock down the door here for the better part of the last 4 laps or so. 66 still to the inside, still wheel to wheel with the 53 here in 1 and 2. Jeremy Burns just laying in wait behind him. They're all going to come together here. Looks like Rader's going to still have the advantage for now. But yeah, Linz is showing a lot of speed there, but this is the problem, especially at Texas when those tires start going away. Actually completing a pass here when those tires get hot is incredibly difficult.
Linz got a taste for winning, wants more of it. Trying to compete for the lead, decides to peel it down pit road halfway through the stage. Lap 23 for the 66. Dakota Floyd, Justice Murphy, Grant Thorpe, Sirkovich also into pit road. Grant Thorpe with a speeding penalty.
That is a tough break there for the 77, but luckily for him, it's still early, so it'll be time to rebound. As you see, here's Burns coming down pit road now.
So we're going to work out a deal here with sit-down marks. If I can get the rest of the season correct without messing up that top right banner, you got to give me a free t-shirt. So there's incentive. I thought that giving away a free t-shirt would be enough for me to remember. Apparently not. So now I need another reason.
Yeah, there you go.
Al Likens takes the lead here. 53 of Rader down pit road. Earhart, Berube. Burns taking, I believe, 2 tires on this stop, or maybe fuel only. It's 9.6 in the box there. Orlando doing the same. A lot of 2-tire calls, I think, here. Got Brandon Pamitat in 5th as well.
Yeah, just trying to make this thing to the end, you know, maybe trying to save a little bit of tire for later on. You know, trying to just save some stuff for the back half of this race. Of course, there was 5 sets of tires available over the wall, but, you know, Texas will chew them up. So if the cautions fall their way, they're definitely going to be utilizing it where they can. You see Harrison right side up on that machine.
Down and away. So 2-tire call for the 45 as well. 64 Ben Lapter also onto pit road. Bennett hit his stall in the 14. Bennett was running up there in the top 10.
Did I say a 1.5 for Ben? Is that just throwing a splash of gas in there to make it to the stage?
It's a splash and go.
Not too often we get to see a splash and go this early in the event, but I guess
stage
with the way
points, maybe.
Yeah, just trying to. I mean, hey, it's going to get him quite a bit of track position because you know most of the folks have been on pit road for 9 or 10 seconds. Anyone with the 4-tire stops looking at about 14. So he is going to gain a lot of track position doing that when everyone cycles through.
They'll have about 11 cars that need to hit pit road. Michael Fall, Likens, Justin Ritchie, Kyle Stewart, Diaz, Schaefer, Sam Taylor. So I have Jeremiah Nelson, Daniel Holloway, Grant Turner. I said if there's a strategy to be played, this guy would do it. Running it long here. Maybe, just maybe, trying to save enough fuel. Let's go on board. Let's find out if there's another ace up the sleeve of Grant Turner. Grant Turner, Grant. I'm so sorry. I might be giving it away. Nobody else trying this? I mean, you had to see it coming. If there's a 5-lap window, Turner's going to try it.
He certainly is. And, you know, it's worked out for him more often than not so far this year. I also got to say, I feel like it would be really tough for me personally as a driver to be driving when my entire room is lit up like I just fell into the pits of hell. That being said, it's working for him, and the red light is going really nice with the.
That's
the
fuel saving light. That's the fuel saving light. So I don't know if you're aware, but RGB makes if it's red, you know the meme. You know
Oh,
the
yeah.
meme. Nelson on
He's
pit
doing a
road as
phenomenal
well.
job of it so far. Yeah, he's doing what he can, and he's currently one of 8 drivers getting to pit. Of those who have, Carter wins.
Well, and it stayed green. That's the other focal point. This strategy doesn't work if it doesn't stay green. So to commit to that and hope that it stays green, or knowing that it will make to that point, we've spread this field out almost 29 seconds across the board here, and only 11 cars are left on the lead lap. The top 10 get stage points. Jeremy Burns, Carter Lenz are the only 2 drivers that were racing up front in these first 20 laps that are back up there in the top 10. So a lot of guys that are on raw pace are going to get beat by strategy again.
Oh, hard into the wall. Someone just whacked it coming off of turn 2.
That's Caleb Gilbert, I believe.
Oh, that
like
car.
Forget.
Oh, more
3
cars
different cars. Daniel Holloway.
I think that might have been Owls.
Owls in the wall.
Oh, man. And everybody is
there
deemed
oil
out
on
of
the
the
track?
racing line. I don't know what happened there. Everyone was out of the racing line, so iRacing has elected not to put out the yellow. Let's take a look here. I think the first car was Caleb Gilbert.
There's contact.
A little bit of contact there with Orlando.
That's
hard
a
into
hard.
the outside wall.
How does that not trigger a yellow?
Your guess is as good as mine, especially when the contact was there with Forget. Al's coming back across the racetrack. Staggering that iRacing has deemed that not a yellow. Just as a reminder for folks at home, all the cautions for on-track incidents are thrown by the iRacing service itself. So we have no ability to dictate when the yellow does or does not come out for that, but that probably should have been.
You saw there the 19 coming back down the racetrack. That car is out of control. It's broken. The suspension is completely gone. Justin Ritchie just pitted from the lead and got a black flag. That's going to hand the lead over to Christopher Schaefer. Sam Taylor's still on the racetrack. He just got a black flag.
Oh, boy. Things are really unraveling fast here for a lot of cars on the racetrack, just trying to limp this thing to the stage. There comes Grant Turner down pit road. That leaves Schaefer out front as the only car yet to come down pit road, I believe, which means Lenz, Burns, and Keith will cycle to those top 3 spots here in just a moment, as it looks like Schaefer going to pit this time.
So of all those cars that stayed out on the long run hoping for a yellow that should have happened just a moment ago, on cue, right after the yellow fails, they come into pit road.
Yeah, that was about 4 or 5 cars that would have benefited unbelievably from that. Rest of the field is just thanking that they don't have to take the wave around because, I mean, there was still probably about half the field a lap down before those guys came down pit road. But now with about 5 laps to go before the stage, there's the battle for the lead. It's Lenz, who's about a half second clear of Jeremy Burns. And Rob Rader has lost some distance here to the folks he was battling for the lead with just a little while ago.
I'll tell you why. He took 4 tires on that stop. Everybody else ahead of him took 2. So he lost about 5 seconds on pit road to these guys.
One other name that's jumping out at me is the splash and go for Ben Laughter here might actually net him a stage point.
Yeah.
He's able to hold on to that 10th place spot.
He's got it by about 3 seconds.
Yeah, he just needs to survive a couple more laps, and that'll be a fantastic call from the 64. You know, 1 point's only 1 point until you need that as a tiebreaker, and then you wish you had that 1 point. So,
yeah,
good stuff here for the 64 if he's able to snag a stage point from out of nowhere.
And no offense to Ben, but the way his races have went, he's had fast cars, just always caught up in something. So I think he needs every point he can get at this point. I just said point 3 times.
This is I think this is a good chance for him to do just that. He might be able to snag another one here. He's not too far off from Orlando, but watching here, this is there's the gap. Yeah, you see about 4 car lengths between the two. Similar gap here between the race leader and second place. Lenz leading Burns at the moment. 66 looking for a 3-peat. Won at Kansas 2 weeks ago. Won at Watkins Glen last race. Now looking to make it happen here at Texas. Good start to the day as he's a lap and a half away from taking the opening stage.
Just on board with Dylan Picklesheimer. He's been chasing down Trevor Earhart a little bit. About 2/10 off for the 41. 5th position right now for the 33. Remember, Picklesheimer had a early undercut on the pit stop. So he's got about 20 laps on this stint. But he did take 2 tires, and it seems to have paid off. White flag in the air here for this stage.
Yeah, he had good pace before the pit cycle and capitalized that with good strategy. And looks like he's going to be in prime position to get some good stage points as Holloway's trying to get back on the lead lap here. I think he will just have to settle for being the free pass car as Carter Lynn's going to win the opening stage here at Texas Motor Speedway. Jeremy Burns is going to be about 0.6 of a second back. So we're watching that battle here. Harrison almost got the Picklesheimer, but not quite in time for 5th and 6th. And there is the yellow, signifying the end of stage number 1.
Carter Lynn's getting stage 1. Top 10 on the left-hand side of your screen, all awarded points. Ben Laughter able to hold on to that spot. Like you mentioned, Tyler Harrison had raced up there. Just about to pass. Don't think he got the position, though. As he's in 6th right now. I think he's going to be deemed 8th.
He got to the rear corner, but wasn't able to get any further because he was trying to get around him on the outside through the quad oval there.
So this should cycle everyone down pit road for scheduled stops. Would expect everyone to take 4 tires. So while we have a moment here, we're going to thank some of the sponsors of Racing Revolution and the Chapman Cup Series. We'll take you side by side. Stage 2 will continue the race broadcast on Vspeed right after this.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Welcome back here to our coverage. Texas Motor Speedway. We have concluded stage number 1. And after that cycle of pit stops, not surprised, kind of surprised, Dakota Floyd is going to take 2 tires to take the lead from Carter Lynch, your stage 1 winner.
Yeah, Dakota Floyd taking 2 tires to hit the track position, the least surprising thing I've heard today. However, I think it is just surprising in the sense of we saw a lot of cars take 2 tires before this. Seemed to work out okay, but We also
Yeah.
saw a lot of cars who stayed out long were having some real handling issues on that longer run. So, not that I doubt that he's going to have a fine time holding on to it, but those tires are only going to live so long.
The left sides are the same as they were at the start of this race. He's had the same left sides all the way through. So I'm more interested now with 2 heat cycles how this car is going to handle. You know, it might have been good in that stage run, which was a pretty short stint. Maybe that's why he considered just 2 on this one. Let's find out.
Maybe. Yeah, this'll be a real test, I think.
There we go. For stage 2 at Texas, into the restart zone we go. Back underway. Pretty good launch
here. 57. Burns and Lynn's going to slide in there, battling for second. Call and Keith battling for 5th. How about Michael Call, who has worked his way back from that start of race end of line? He's already back into the top 5. Qualified 5th. He's got some good speed, and now he's in a spot where he can showcase it.
On board there with the 5. He's got company, though, with a look to the inside from Trevor Keith. They'll go side by side into 1 and 2.
Yeah, middle lane is the choice here for the 5. He's trying to work his way to the outside, holding off the 15. Door to door they go. Maybe a little bit of a side draft from the 15, but Call able to hold on to that spot. He's now up the 4th. That spot is his, and he is now going to try to set his sights up to Jeremy Burns in the 3rd spot here. Yeah, that 5 is very excited to see how he battles some of these lead guys now that he's also got that track position.
He had the speed. You saw it there, started in 5th. That doesn't tell the whole story. And Iowa put him in the back of the field. He's had to race his way up here. So if you want to go off of positions gained, Michael Call takes the cake. He would have about 28 of them.
Yeah, he would, and he only needs a couple more to get to the front. Speaking of getting to the front, Carter Lynn's back to the point here. He clears Dakota Floyd. Jeremy Burns going to follow him through as well. Maybe Michael Call going to get in there as well going into turn 1. So it looked pretty good for exactly about 3 laps there, Bradley, for Dakota Floyd. Now he is getting eaten up by the rest of the field now.
And it's kind of strange because Michael Call also took 2 tires on that last stop. And I'm interested to know, I don't know if you have the numbers on that, but I want to say he took 2 on the last stop as well. So they're pretty even here. Michael Call showcasing a little bit better on the inside line. Maybe Floyd just shuffled out.
Yeah, that might be the case. It also might be, you know, they might be on a similar strategy, but Dakota Floyd was kind of running with some of these front pack cars. Maybe Call was able to take it a little bit easier further back in the pack and kind of set up his moves knowing that it was a long event that he could work his way up here. So maybe just a little bit better life of those tires who have been on for a longer run. There's now Harrison going to take a nose to the inside through the quad oval. Just avoiding that infield grass as we jump on board here with the 45 as he gets to the inside of Floyd.
I believe they leaned on each other there.
Just a little bit, and maybe a little bit more. Harrison focused up, though. He's got the spot. He's up the 4th. Floyd drops back to 5th, and now going to try to hold him off here going into turn 1.
Live telemetry, live cameras. Got about 9 different drivers out here. Carter Lynn's, we've showed his camera quite a few times recently. Now back up front. Jeremy Burns, we got to see his live on board. I'm sure we'll get to more of these guys, but Nick Alves, man, I feel bad for the guy. I try to get to his camera as much as I can, so I don't know. Do we take an opportunity to try to pull Nick Alves up here into the broadcast booth and get his take on what happened there?
We certainly can. Let me find him. There he is. I can pull him in if you want.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get the camera working here.
All right, here we go.
Nick Alves, it's Bradley Cooper and Alex Gagnon in the broadcast booth. I felt bad, man, because I was trying to get your camera up there, and the next thing I know, iRacing forgot what a yellow flag was.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Kevin and Caleb, who's a teammate, got together, and Caleb says, "Oh, I'm wrecking." And the next thing we knew, Caleb comes flying down the track. Alex hits him, and then Alex screamed. And then I was like, "Oh, Alex is wrecked also. He's up on the right-hand side. I'll just, I'll follow Justice right through it." And Alex came in front of me, and I braked slightly, turned the wheel a little bit to the right, and I don't know if it was because I only took right sides that the car just decided to hook completely right and destroy my right front. But we have too much damage, and we have to retire. So that's awesome.
Well, Nick, I know it's been kind of one of those seasons for you. Every track, it just seems like something beyond your control is around you.
Yeah, I mean, seems like it's been bad luck a lot of these last couple of races. Nothing to do like on my own fault, just wrong place, wrong time, but just keep grinding away and come back at it. I think we're off next week and then All-Star race, so it's kind of a 2-week break to kind of like reset the mind and try to get, I don't know, get lucky, I guess.
Well, I don't know if you're watching here, but the 7th through 10th position is on fire. It has been since the green flag. So
it's funny. I was like, guys, I'm out. I'm staying here. I'll talk to anybody that they need me through. And Rob's the one that's currently up the highest out of everybody. And I was like, I'll just stay on you and watch you a little bit. So I watched as the 33 and the 41 almost get together. So Dylan and Trevor going at it. They got history, so that's going to be fun to watch. I know Kevin and Justice were going at it for last 2 laps. So it's pretty exciting if you're actually in the race. Also exciting if you're outside the race, you can see everything.
Well, I'm outside the race every week. I mean, I don't know how else to feel about it.
You got the best view.
Well, Nick, anybody you want to shout out real quick while we have you up here?
Yeah, just shout out to the team. Hopefully everybody that's still on track, Rob, Bennett, Jacob, and Parker can get a decent finish out of here. I know Caleb's limping around back there just to get a couple of more spots, but big shout out to Chapman, always doing their part and being the main sponsor for the series. You guys always doing a great broadcast, and I always love watching it back on Thursday mornings, but I guess, well, to watch myself race, but I'll get to watch myself for about 5 minutes tomorrow, and then I'll get to enjoy watching the rest of the team.
I guess an optimistic outlook, Nick Alves. Appreciate you coming up here and talking to us, and we'll see you next 2 weeks.
Appreciate it, guys.
So watching that battle there, I mean, yeah, arguably the driver's seat's where these guys want to be, Alex.
Yeah.
I know how it feels. You wait all week for this. You know, some of these guys have one league that they focus on, and then they get to race 60 miles. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it can be, especially when that's like the thing you're looking forward to that week. I very much can empathize a little bit with Nick Alves at the moment, because when I'm not up here in the booth with you here, Bradley, I also I'm a part of a bowling league, and there was an electrical fire at the bowling alley on league night last night, so we had to evacuate the place about a game into our 3-game set, and I said, well, this sucks. And then it was taking too long, so I just packed up my stuff and I went home. And I said, well, short day, so not quite the same. But when you have a league event that you sink some time into and you're looking forward to, and then you DNF before you even really get going, it's definitely a hollow feeling, and you just have to kind of look ahead to the next one.
Just thinking of the wax and the spray that they put on the bowling alley in an electrical fire.
Oh, yeah.
How wrong that could go.
That's why they had everyone evacuate, because it wasn't too bad, but the potential is there for significantly worse. So, yeah, luckily, everyone's okay. Building was fine for the most part, I believe. But, yeah, they had to tread very carefully because, a bowling alley notoriously is just wood and oil, 2 things that, definitely don't play well with fire.
Playing with fire right now for the lead. Burns looks to the inside of Lenz. It's the first time since the green flag has dropped that your stage winner has been contested. Burns gets the nose, gets a little bobble there out of tune, not able to get that line off the corner. And Lenz is going to hold on at least down the backstretch. Preferred line for the 9 now. Can he drive it off of 4 and get a lap lead?
Certainly trying to. Got the inside line here. Gonna get credited with the lap lead there. So Burns now with the 1, and he might be able to clear the 66 here if he slides up in front of him off a 2. Looks like he will. So new race leader Jeremy Burns here on lap 63. I guess technically 62 since that's the last lap he led, but now he is fully the leader. And Michael Call is now up to 3rd, Harrison up to 4th, Dakota Floyd still hanging around in that 5th spot. So got some good action going on inside the top 5 right now.
That split off. We were watching that battle earlier, 7 through 10. Trevor Earhart got the best of it. We thought Rob Rader was going to get away. He was ahead of it when those drivers, the 41 and the 33, had made contact. But Trevor Earhart ultimately comes out on top of it. Dakota Floyd going to sneak a peek to the inside of Tyler Harrison. This is for the 4th spot. Impressive what he's done with just 2 tires. Harrison's on 4, not able to keep it on the bottom.
Taking a look a little further back here, that's Michael Bennett battling for the 17th position here with Jeremiah Nelson. Only about a 10th of a second the gap here as they go in the 1. Bennett getting all the way down toward that white line, only about a half lane up. Nelson running about 2 lanes up from the bottom. Looks like Bennett gonna try once again getting down lower than the 31. Nelson's been a little bit more comfortable than a lot of the other cars in the field running off of the apron here today. I can't say for sure whether I think it's really working or not, given that this is the battle for 17th, but it does seem to be working well enough for him relative to a lot of the cars around him.
Riding on the back end of Kyle Stewart in the 10 car. Jeremiah Nelson going to go by on the outside. They make contact going into 3. The 10 moves up, crowds him to the wall. They have to keep it down here off of 4. He does. Almost runs him out of racetrack. I think the 31 brushed the wall regardless. Nelson able to just sneak past there. But we were mentioning Bennett back in 18th. This car was running in 8th to start this race off. What's happened to the 14?
You know, I'm trying to think back to when we've been watching on board. There hasn't really been anything too egregious, I feel like, when we've been watching them. Just seems to be the car's slowly going the wrong way on him. And there's a lot of cars around him who are seemingly finding some speed here, while the 14 is still searching for it a little bit. I mean, still on the lead lap, very much still a part of this main group. Like, not out of it by any means, but definitely, I think, right now trying to explore around a little bit, trying to figure out what actually is going to work for the race cars. He got to the inside here.
Oh, Pickles Simon through the grass.
Doing a little off-roading is the 33. He's going to drop several positions now out of the top 10. Don't know if he had any help getting down there or just got loose. Let's take a look here at the replay.
I believe there are sit-down marks in the quad oval right here. Little air time for the 33, but able to regain control.
And he'll forge on here in 11th place, just behind Ryan Munoz. He's got Justice Murphy just behind him as well. He was running 9th at the time, so only dropped 2 positions. One of those positions to Rob Rader, who's on the attack now against Al Likens coming off of turn 2.
Not able to get the spot. Had the nose there coming off of 4. But it's the inside line now. Talked about it in the pre-race and right at the start, how this track was going to evolve. Inside doesn't look like it's as fast as it was, and everyone's slowly migrating higher and higher. I think by the end of this race, it's going to take a really wide approach to 1 and 2 to get anything going.
Yeah, and that's also with the nature of as tires wear away, which I'm sure a lot of these drivers are experiencing. Even folks who took 4 tires at the stage have put about 25 green flag laps on these things. And if you took a 2-tire call or were stacking 2-tire calls, those left sides have been out there for 70. And I don't care what it is, you know, any tires at a 1.5 mile track that have 70 laps on them, even if they're the left sides, are going to feel really beat up and really hot, especially if you do any sort of battling for position where you're not running like optimal lines every lap. This is definitely a crunch time for a lot of these guys. You see they are really laboring right now. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Laughter, Bennett, and Stewart in the turn 3. Just trying to figure out what they can do to complete a pass here. Oh, it's getting tight. Oh, Stewart's in the wall.
And I think that was a moment there for Stewart of just let him have it, let him go by. Caution's out.
Significant right front damage to the number 10. So bring it down pit road. The only saving grace there is he basically slid right to the entrance of pit road. So he won't need to get towed back, I don't believe. Man, hard hit.
You saw the 3 wide start. Let's back this up a little bit further. Bennett and the 64 and Laughter were single file behind him, and then suddenly off of turn 2, and I believe it's just that overshot there into 1 that set this all up. Suddenly the 10's 3 wide.
Yeah. And there was plenty of time for the spotter to let them know they're 3 wide. Just everything condenses here.
The hard part of the track, yeah.
The 10 doesn't want to run that high up because he's going to get in the marbles. So he's trying to get down a little bit to get some clean racetrack. The problem is the 14 can't give him any room because he has no more room to get down really to Ben Laughter unless Laughter is glued to the apron, which in this case he was, but Bennett's not going to really be able to know that in the middle of 3 wide. So with no room to give, and with the 10 not wanting to get up to the marbles to have potentially what just happened anyway, you know, they try squeezing each other. Unfortunately for Kyle Stewart, he is the loser of that exchange. But that's one of those situations, much to your point, where that's just got to be a battle for another lap. You know, like someone's got to back out of that because, you know, with everyone trying to be the one to stay in that spot, ultimately it costs the 10 big time.
What this does do is put us at the halfway mark of this race with pit stops. So a reset in the strategy. 50% fuel, the limit. These drivers trying to save, but a lot of them have already burned 2 sets of right side tires. I'd expect to see 4 go on all of these machines. A few drivers back in the back here. Daniel Holloway going to get down with 2 tires. Holloway's going to get his way up into the top 10.
We've seen a lot of cars, I think, get real creative with their 2 tire stops so far today. We've seen it come up in a variety of circumstances and from a lot of names that we do expect, but also a lot of names that we wouldn't anticipate. Also a couple of splash and goes. I mean, we've seen a little bit of everything on pit road. We've seen some penalties. I think the only thing we haven't seen this car is actually make contact with each other on pit road.
Burns going to maintain the lead. Michael Call now up to 2nd spot. Won the battle off of pit road with Carter Lynch, Trevor Earhart, and Good Floyd, the top 5. Then you have Daniel Holloway on the 2-tire call. Going to work his way up to 6th spot, now up 24 positions. You have Trevor Keith in 7th. Tyler Harrison up 23 spots. Rob Rader and Al Likens, who was the biggest mover to start stage 1. Should get the 1-to-go signal this time by. Wave around to the 77 of Grant Thorpe, who got a speeding penalty during stage 1. Our second caution of the evening. 77 with the free pass.
That's a good break there for Grant Thorpe, who's coming off that great run last week at Watkins Glen. Trying to follow it up with a solid effort here today at Texas Motor Speedway, and you know, at least getting back on the lead lap will help that a good bit. Burns and Call, that front row, highest we've seen the 5 all day. Lynn settles back into 3rd with Earhart. Tell you what, the 41, I don't think he's had race-winning pace, but he has been a formidable top 5 car basically since the drop of the green flag here today.
You know, a lot of these guys, the comers and goers, but that 41, I agree, definitely a top 5 contender. And watching the 45 and the 15 there just behind him, those 2 cars have the potential to get up here in this top 5, especially now that we've leveled out the playing field with 4 fresh ones. See what happens here on this third start of the day. The first opportunity that Michael Call could take the lead. Left hand for the pace car. We'll peel it down pit road for the third time. Here we go. From Texas, halfway mark. Let's find those volume knobs, turn up those hearing aids, and let's max it out on Vspeed.
Oh, yellow's already out way in the back.
3 car and the 21. Daniel Holloway, who just took those 2 tires to get up in the top 10, back to 24th. The 3 of Sam Taylor involved.
We will definitely get the volume cracked on the ensuing restart here. But
55 of Richie involved as well. This looks like a restart gone wrong here. Let's go up to the 21. Well, I thought Daniel Holloway made it out. Did he ask for an EOL here? And I'm sure he regrets that because it put him right behind this restart with the 55 and the 3. I think that's where it actually started.
Yeah, something happens here with the 3 where the rest of the field gets moving. He does not. And just everything pinballs there. Thorpe and Zerkovich also get a piece of that.
That looks like a equipment malfunction. Like the wheel just disconnected and then reconnected.
Yeah, it's either that or something just doesn't throttle up right when he's... I mean, yeah, it doesn't look like there was any input for that second, whether that's an equipment thing or just missing it, but that was enough time that went by that it made me think it would have to be some sort of equipment thing.
And like I said, that claims the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Am I crazy? Did the 21 come off the pit road with 2 tires? I feel like he did and gained up to 8th position. What was he doing back there? I don't know if he just didn't feel confident on the restart. Maybe he thought he would be in the way. I don't know. I know he regrets it at this point.
Yeah, unless there was something where he had like either an end of line or if he got like an unsafe pit exit or something and had to go to the tail end of the line. Maybe it was a penalty as he was leaving. Either way, I mean, that's a tough break there for the 21.
Well, we have another opportunity to find a driver, and I really want to take a Michael Call. I don't know if you have any questions for him, Alex, but I think you've got some curiosity of how this 5 car is going to handle.
Yeah, let's see if we can bring him in real quick. Here we go. Actually, is there one? Third one isn't locked, I don't think. We should be good. Hey there, Michael Call. This is Alex and Bradley up in the Vspeed booth. You got a moment?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that thing qualified fast, but you had to start at the end of the field and have been working your way forward since. What's it been like going basically last to first here through the opening 79?
It's been fun, honestly. I enjoy this. Well, I don't enjoy this track a whole lot, but right now I do. Yeah, I had an EOL, qualified 5th, just working our way up, surrounded by our teammates now. A lot of laps to go, so but it's been fun. It's been just picking and choosing our way.
Yeah, it certainly seems like you've had the opportunity to be doing that. How has the car been handling so far, trying to work your way through traffic versus now being toward the front?
Traffic's a little sketchy. It gets really tight in the dirty air, but if you know how to manipulate that a little bit to your benefit, it's really not that bad. But no, I'm excited to see how the rest of this plays out. Got my teammates around me, like I said, so can't be upset.
All right. Well, we're sending you back to Rolling Thunder, correct?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Well, we will let you get ready here for the restart. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
So that is Michael Call, who's going to be restarting on the outside of the front row here, alongside Jeremy Burns. And he's in that call. Him, Earhart, and Burns are all part of this Rolling Thunder conversation at the moment. So they're putting together a really good start to this here.
Well, I just got to let them know there's a flash of lightning behind them. And the 66 car is hungry to get back to the lead. Didn't mean to make a Cars reference, but
It kind of worked out that way, though. I'm here for it.
9 of Jeremy Burns has led a lot of laps. Can we get back underway? Let's try it again. If you didn't turn on your hearing aids, good, because we're going to go back to maxed out here on Vspeed. Maxed out live here on Vspeed, Chapman Cup Series. Great action back here around the 4th position. They were 3 wide for about 3 laps.
Yeah, it was going crazy there, watching that and just hearing these guys rumble. But this battle has not cut down yet. Of course, if you're just joining us late, this is Vspeed, the Chapman Cup Series on Wednesday nights. Bradley Cooper and myself, Alex Gagnon, bringing you this show here from Texas Motor Speedway, race 10 of the season here for the Chapman Cup Series for Racing Revolution. And right now, man, Trevor Keith is he's running a good race, but he is under siege from the cards behind him.
Yeah, he's had everybody contesting him. Every time he gets a nose in, somebody else, 41!
Oh no, and Trevor Earhart was running so well earlier too. Oh, and everyone diving to avoid. I think that was Joe Joy who just barely sneaked around him at the end there. Man,
wow.
So that brings
everybody missed him somehow.
That is miraculous, but a testament to everyone keeping their head on a swivel and to the 41 for locking it down and giving people the option to go high or low.
I think Ben Lafter might have got a piece of something here. Little damage on the 40 or the 64 on the left front, but the right front caved in here on Earhart, and this was in the top 10.
Yeah, they were running for probably about a 6th or so when this happened. They were just behind. We were literally watching it. We're talking about this battle here between Keith and Rader. And Earhart, as he comes off the corner here.
The hole's just not there. It closed up.
Yeah, he tried getting up to the wall, but Harrison got such a great run off the corner. He tried putting the nose there. And
ooh, who was that?
Yeah, that was the 7 of Joe Joy. If you want to take on board with him, man, he had a really close call. We caught that on the initial look too, man. He was inches away from disaster here, coming down the back straightaway. Take a look at this. You see the smoke. Everyone parts, and he just dives it in there at probably about 130. And wow, what a move.
I gotta look at this from a clearance perspective. I mean, there's a car to his inside, there's a car to his outside.
And he doesn't even loop it. We see a lot of guys when they try making a move like that, They get so focused on the first move, they don't think about trying to recorrect it, and then they end up spinning themselves out on trying to get back centered on the racetrack. That was fantastic car control from the 7 there to not do that. Similar to what we just saw there with Ben Laughter. You know, it's you make that first move, you stave it off, but then you lose the back end of the car on that over adjustment trying to correct it. Looks like a little bit of damage for the 64. Hopefully nothing too serious for him. But yeah, that is that is the two outcomes of what we just saw there with the Earhart spinning in the middle of the track. Either you're able to avoid and save it like we saw Joya do, or you avoid it but then also you end up losing the back end of the car like what we saw with the 64.
4 cautions, one of those for a stage at lap 40. Carter Lenz getting stage number 1. 7 lead changes. It's been Jeremy Burns pretty much since about lap 55. I believe that's maybe an overestimate. Maybe it was 65 there. He took the lead away from Carter Lenz. But they've been trading back and forth on this top spot. I think at this point, we need this race to go green to see if Lenz can get back up here. He got around Michael Call in that short little stint. We've had about 6-7 laps into green, caution after caution now, as the 41 of Trevor Earhart. Heavy damage on that right front. He has come in for service, trying to get this damage repaired. Has a little bit of time left, and he's going to elect to come back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, trying to, I believe, keep himself on the lead lap here. But it'll be Burns and Lenz on that front row again. Call and Floyd. 57, he's doing a textbook Dakota Floyd race, I feel like, where he is just hanging around in 4th, and we're going to see where the cards fall out here after that last pit stop. But I feel like this is shaping up to be a quintessential Dakota Floyd race so far.
Caleb Gilbert came back out on the racetrack. We talked to the 24 of Nick Alves. He's still in the race session. Kyle Stewart, Brandon Pamitat, Kyle Diaz, Alex Forget, Berube in the 19, all out of this race. The 3 of Sam Taylor, who's heavily damaged, back out on the racetrack. Then you have Sirkovich and Grant Turner back here. These cars pretty clean here for this restart. Carter Lenz on the outside of Jeremy Burns. This is the story that I was wondering about. Can the 66 find his way back to the lead, at least in the short run?
And that is going to be the question. Green flag is in the air. Here we go, coming across the start-finish line, down into turn 1. Good launch for the 9. He'll take over the top spot, and Michael Call right there to try to fill the gap. He might take second away here, coming through 2.
That drive off of the corner, really good for Lenz. Made that high line work. He'll stay door-to-door with the 5. 15 gonna try it for 4th position on Floyd. And look at the run off of 4. Massive run here for Carter Lenz. He's all over the back end of the 9. He'll take it in 1.
Someone's going through the grass. Is that Justice Murphy?
It is the 12.
Oh, what a wild ride. You can see the tire marks all the way through the infield as Lenz now to the point on lap 91.
Just missed that pass for the lead. We'll go back, and we also kind of missed both things as they were happening. The 66 that just kind of worked the camera at the wrong time. Here's a look back at the run off of turn 4. So we did see that. As the 12 is coming off of turn 4, I'm not sure if there's contact. They were 3 wide. Yes, there's the contact from the 48 of Parker Johnston that sent Justice Murphy into the corner and down into the tri-oval grass.
And then Lenz, with that completed pass, he's already opening up a bit of a gap here to Burns, Call, and the rest of them. 0.4 of a second now. As you see side by side, that is Jeremiah Nelson getting up there in the battle with Tyler Harrison.
Again with Nelson. We've been saying his name more and more every week. He has really put on the speed this season. Nelson up to 7th from starting at 16th.
Oh, someone's around in the back. And that brought out the yellow. Not sure who that was. Yellow car coming off of turn 2. It's Joe Joya. We were just talking about making that phenomenal move around Trevor Earhart at the previous yellow. Now it's the 7's turn to go around. So I guess the racing gods deemed that he shouldn't have gotten away with that that avoidance on the previous yellow.
Oh, I think I know what happened here. I think the 7 car picked up a right front toe link damage and couldn't get through the exit of 2.
Yeah, you saw he had a little bit of tough after that hit off of 4. A little bit. Oh, yeah, there it was. This snapped around on him a little bit. And tried locking it down, and yeah, some left rear contact there. So he ultimately, that's the only bit of contact he had with the wall there was the left rear. But yeah, it started there with that coming off of turn 4, right front contact. Saw him have to run the the quad oval very wide, and then that car just took off on him, and the right just past the apex there of 1 and 2.
It's Carter Lenz with the lead. We've flipped it for another time. I believe that puts us at 12 lead changes here this evening. But don't go anywhere. We have more coverage to continue. The Love Where You Live 200 from Texas Motor Speedway.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Love Where You Live 200 at Texas Motor Speedway. Carter Lenz is going to restart on the inside. Stage 1 winner, as we've seen our 6th caution of the evening. This is a 7 of Joe Joya, who hit the outside wall coming out of turn 4, broke the right front toe link, spun coming off of turn 2. Enough to trigger a yellow here for this one. But back into the restart zone we go. In the Earhart-Holmes 200. Lenz on the inside gets a good jump. Here comes Call to follow him through.
Yeah, nice move there. Takes over the top 2 spots. Lenz and Call
Not
now
a
1 and
good.
2. Trevor Keith to the inside of Burns here. He's looking the motor pass for 3rd.
It's not
But
a good launch for the 9 there. I don't know if
No.
you caught that.
Yeah, it was, and that just directly cost him a spot as TK able to complete that pass coming off of turn 4. Here comes Nelson right to the back bumper as well, and he's got a lot of Dakota Floyd to his outside window right now. Tyler Harrison in that mix as well. I mean, this is close quarters racing right now through the top 10. I know it's just coming off the restart, but these guys did not fan out whatsoever.
Harrison worked that outside earlier. Remember the contact with the 41 of Earhart, who tried to fit the nose up there. 45 didn't really pick up any damage, it appears. He's still hanging with these drivers up here in the top 5. Just trying to figure out a way around as Nelson still to the inside of the 57. We look 3 wide for a moment. No, that's the 81 of Munoz, who just got pushed and shuffled out.
Yeah, shuffled out, he did. Falls back several positions here outside of the top 10. Currently scored 11th, as that was, I believe, Tyler Harrison, who was way up the hill.
Looking for grip, I think.
Yeah, and he may have found it up there, but he did lose out to Picklesheimer. Now Rob Rader looking to the inside.
I think there's grip. It's just dirty air now at this point. Everybody else is trying. It was working earlier for the 45. He was one of the first to do it, but now everyone's migrating up there.
Yeah, it makes it hard to find that grip just because naturally there's a little bit less up there. But if you're the only one up there, it's more than everyone running the bottom. But when everyone starts gravitating up as well, just makes the issue compoundingly worse. And now Harrison slides back to 10th. Going to work his way back to the inside here. Maybe going to try a different line because that outside really seemed to shut off for him here off this restart.
And we mentioned Trevor Earhart a moment ago, the 41 car. Back in 19th position. He's gotten a lot of that damage fixed. Probably still has, that optional 30 or 40 seconds. But the car is good enough now that he can keep it up to decent race speed, running within that 2 to 3 mile per hour range. I would expect Earhart to start to recover now, especially if we had one more, and I'm not going to say the word. If we had one more, I think that you would see the 41 back up here in the top 10.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. He's on the warpath right now trying to get back up there. As you see now, Trevor Keith has gotten past Michael Call for second. That's the highest the 15 has run here today. He's up to P2, trying to track down Carter Lins. Call back to third. Burns and Floyd now 4th and 5th, and they've got a lot of Jeremiah Nelson behind them. But here's the onboard with Trevor Keith. So he settles into that second spot. And now it's a matter of putting together a few good laps here, trying to see what you got, trying to reel in the leader.
And I think we get a different camera angle from Trevor Keith every other week. Yeah. I don't think he's had the same one ever in his broadcasting on Vspeed. Trevor Keith is always, he's always got that shock and awe. He's always working hard behind the wheel as well.
Yeah, and I can see why, because right now he's battling with Michael Call, who worked himself back to that side-by-side battle. Keith had him cleared a moment ago. Tight quarters there off of 4. That is going to be really tight. A little bit of side draft here through the quad, but Call takes that spot back, so now the 15 has to go back on the attack here for second. He's going to maybe think about getting a nose under him here off of 2. Yes, he will. Some good stuff going on right now. Whoa.
A little touch. Whoops.
Yeah, just the slightest tap coming off of 2. Just a, hey, I'm here, just so you know.
Yeah, I don't know if Michael Call is exchanging any words or not, but Michael looks pretty locked in the 5 car. Well, he just kind of shrugged that off.
Yeah, both of these guys up on the wheel right now, making something happen. And between the two of them, I think they've blinked a combined 1 time here in this battle for second.
Yeah, just one eye at the time, too.
They are wired. Good stuff between these two, man. That's a ton of fun.
So watching this battle for second, a lot of other things have unfolded. Jeremy Burns has lost about a full second to the lead. Carter Lins has pulled away from Michael Call 0.8 of a second. 66 car back to the top spot in that clean air. Dakota Floyd steady in the top 5 all day. Jeremiah Nelson, one of the standouts here in these closing laps. 31 car has the potential for a podium. Dylan Picklesheimer had that off track through the grasses, recovered back to 7th position. Then you have Tyler Harrison and Rob Rader. Rob Rader has gotten really quiet here tonight, Alex.
Yeah, that car seems to be fading on him a little bit. Led the opening, at least like the opening 20 laps or so. Then the pit cycle started. And since that first pit cycle in the middle of stage 1, the car has just gotten away from him a little bit here, and he's starting to trend the wrong direction.
Oh, and he's got cars loose in front of him.
Johnston trying to hold on to it.
Rader's going to force the issue. And there was a pit call for the 15. As that was happening, they're 3 wide across the quad.
That's a dangerous place to be 3 wide. Somehow they all got through it. Big winner there, Ryan Munoz, who got 2 spots. He's up to 9th. Parker Johnston, that was 41. Trevor Earhart, man. He was about to do a Hail Melon there coming off of dirt, too. He was carrying a ton of speed.
There's just so much happening, Alex, when you start to talk, and I can't help it, man. It's just, I don't mean to do it to you.
No, it's all good. I mean, there is, between the two of us talking simultaneously, we still missed, I think, about half the action that happened in that sequence. That was unbelievable stuff.
57 down pit road, right behind Michael Call. Dakota Floyd giving no room to his pit stall. No mistakes. They both hit the box perfectly. And you're going to see synchronized pitting. Who's going to win the battle off pit road? I think they're going to come in just about the way they come out.
Yeah, not a ton of distance. Slightly quicker stop there for the 5. About a second quicker in the box. And we'll see how he does on his outlap here to see how much space he'll get from the 57. But yeah, Burns now to the point. Nelson, Likens, Munoz, Johnston, your top 5. There is just, I mean,
we're in
everywhere
the pit window.
You look. Yeah, everywhere you. Oh, man, things got really tight off of 4 there as Munoz came to pit. Rader almost got up into Grant Thorpe trying to evade the 81 as the 81 was slow enough to get down onto pit road. This is
Munoz unsafe entry on pit.
Yeah, that's stuff. Tried cutting it pretty fine and just cut it a little too close. As you see now, Earhart thinking about making the move. That's Michael Bennett. Grant Thorpe going after it as well. All this happening behind Rob Rader.
And remember, Earhart can go a little bit further on this run. He came in and got a lot of damage repaired, so he's pitted repeatedly. He only has 18 laps on this stint. The cars in front of him are on 25. So he can stretch this run if he wants to. I don't think he can make it to the end of the race. He's going to be about 7 or 8 laps short. But he can absolutely stay out here and hope for a caution, put a lot of these guys a lap down.
Yeah, that could, especially with the way the back half of this race has gone, that feels like it'd be a half-decent bet. As you see, the 41 actually going to pit here. That way he can just ensure he makes it to the end of this thing, but trying to stay on cycle maybe so the caution doesn't come out and trap him a lap down if it happens in the next couple laps here. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. Traffic has been looking, what was the phrase that Michael Call used? Sketchy was how he described getting through traffic. That's how it feels watching some of these battles right now.
Car seems like it's on edge. We didn't talk about the weather conditions, but it's 99 degrees on the track surface, 86 with that hot sun beating down on the entire track right now. You're watching Parker Johnston with the lead. Rob Rader close behind, side by side. That's the lap car of Sam Taylor in the 3. Grant Thorpe into the top 3. Michael Bennett back up in the top 5. This is what we saw in stage 1. Drivers that maybe weren't in a position to lead any laps or be up front, staying out longer than everyone else, and the caution never came.
Yeah, and we've had a couple cautions since that opening stage, but, you know, they're going to try it once again, see if they can get the strategy to fall their way. 9 cars still on the racetrack yet to have pit, I believe, at this point, from Parker Johnston down to Grant Turner. And Rob Rader trying to take over the lead here if he can get around the 48 of Johnston, who's led a couple laps now and is trying to make that car as wide as possible here until he decides to bring it down pit road.
We watched it earlier. The 48 looked like he was struggling on the pretty much the middle, the apex of the corner, where that transition between throttle and brake or lifting on and off. Raider just got a slip up there, exiting turn 2. Thought he was going to take the lead. He still has the nose in the 3.
And now he's got that spot, so Rob Raider out front. Does the change of lead encourage anyone to pit? Doesn't look like it that time around. And we are closing in on just north of 15 laps to go, called about 18 or so, to bring this thing to a close. There's Tyler Harrison clearing Christopher Schaefer on the racetrack. Now Jeremiah Nelson looking to do the same. These guys were battling before the pit cycle, and they picked up right where they left off, and you can add Trevor Keith to that mix as well. All three of these guys duking it out for position. And this is for pretty good stuff here. This is 13th through 15th, but when this cycles through, that'll be all in the top 5.
Something that's interesting to me, you got 4 fresh tires on these cars, about 6-7 laps old, running 30.58 for Tyler Harrison. Rob Raider in the clean air up front ran a 30.722. He has 31 laps on this stint. So in my mind, the fallout is not big enough to justify an undercut on this strategy at this point.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't feel like last time around, Rob Raider 31-1. And as for Trevor Keith and company, it's a 30.6, so about a 0.6 of a second faster. So, I mean, they are making up some time, but not nearly fast enough relative to if the lead group didn't have to pit. We do believe that all 9 of them do still need to come down pit road. They cannot make it on fuel.
Oh, Trevor Keith
was sideways coming off of turn 4. Unbelievable.
Man, the
Wow,
KSX
wow.
Graphics 15 had a hell of a save there. Let's go back and watch that one real quick.
Yeah, that was extraordinary to say the least. I mean, he was fully pointed at the infield and got that thing to come back.
There's no pit barrels here this week, so Trevor wouldn't have been saved by Sandy. And I know last week that was a topic of discussion. Podium finish there for the 15, but there was a lot going on in that race. We didn't really recap too much of it. The 9 was another one of those cars that had something happen to him. The same thing has happened to Raider. The 9 got it the worst. I mean, destroyed up the hill on the S's, and the same thing there. It was a restart that just went wrong.
And we've had a couple of those restarts where things have gone wrong today, but when they have on the restarts, it's typically been closer to the back of the field versus up front. As you see, there's Burns and Raider. So that's the 9 getting his lap back. He is now the 11th and final car on the lead lap. Rob Raider still your leader. Is now Harrison going to get his lap back? And here comes the 53 down pit road. So he tried running long. Did not pan out for him. Same with Bennett and Johnston. They're down pit road now as well. And, yeah, I mean, in their case, they had to try something. Unfortunately for them, just did not shake out. So Christopher Schaefer going to inherit the lead here. One of, I believe, 5 or 6 cars yet to pit. Or maybe actually make it 4 now going back to Grant Turner.
Oh. I don't have to say anything. I'll just put it on the screen. I won't let him know. I won't let him know. Hitting to go. Just saying.
Yeah.
Watch the RPMs.
Yeah, very, very lift and coast heavy there in the 1. Got off the throttle before he even hit the second part of the quad oval. So Schaefer now down pit road. Richie, Murphy, Turner going to see how far they can stretch this thing maybe. Carter Linz, as far as those who have pit, has about a 1.5 second gap over Michael Call. Then it's Burns, Harrison, Nelson, and Likens that would be your top 5 or top 6 coming out of that when everyone cycles through. on board here with Justice Murphy.
Well, Murphy's also on the clutch pedal here, so
Yeah,
I
he
don't know
is.
if we're playing the strategy of hoping for that yellow or if we're trying to make it to the end of this race. Munoz is going to go by on the inside, but Murphy, similar to what we saw with Turner, clutching really early, trying to stretch this out as far as possible. You know, talking about this telemetry, though, Grant Turner running a 31.5. Carter Lenz almost a full second faster. It's about 7 seconds, and we have about 7 laps to go. So even if Grant Turner took the lead, it could come down to the wire.
Yeah, it could, but that's also a lot of fuel to save, as it looks like here comes Justin Ritchie, who was the race leader at the time. So that leaves us now with just Justice Murphy and Grant Turner still on the racetrack, who have not pit yet. Linz, Burns, Call, the first 3 who have. And you can tell that 55 been through a battle here today, but he continues to fight for every position here in the closing stages. There is the 12, who's got about a 1 second advantage over the 39 right now. And both of these guys are just trying to, I think, just have something miraculous fall into their lap at this point. That's about what they're hoping for. That's a lot of extra miles to try to save on one tank.
Murphy's still committed, though. Time by will be 5 laps to go. And there's no sound coming off of turns 1 and 2 at all.
No. It is,
Don't worry, the audio's not broken. They're just clutching that far into the corner.
yeah, there was, they are letting this thing roll. Turner trying to push the issue a little bit more. He's closed up to the back bumper of the 12. Is this going to force Murphy to use the throttle a bit? Yes, it will.
Well, Turner got back on the clutch. I think he got back in the red that he wasn't going to make it.
These guys are playing a really delicate game right now, trying to make it to the end.
This is chess at 170 miles per hour, and they're forgetting that there's a lot of other people out here waiting for them to make a mistake.
Yeah, so Turner just made the pass on the outside there around Murphy. He lunged it down the outside in 3 and 4, took that spot away. And here we go now in the 1 and 2. Here comes Justice Murphy back to the inside. Oh, almost a bit of contact between those two. 39 puts on a little bit more throttle, trying to get some separation.
They could run out of fuel on each other. I mean, that's the situation here.
Yeah. At some point, you got to figure out what's more important, the finish or, you know, the battle for the win. And if you don't think you have enough fuel, it doesn't matter how much you want to battle for the win. You got to keep yourself doing whatever you can to at least finish this thing.
Grant Turner is praying that this race stays green to the end. He has the lead, and this could be his second win.
He's got a 3-second gap still over Linz with only 3 to go. I mean, the 66 is closing fast, but he is basically just out of time right now to really make something happen. This would be serious echoes back to Turner's win a few weeks ago, because I believe it was Linz who dominated that race and then just ran out of time late when we were over at Dover 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Which was a strategy race that flipped, flopped 2 different times. And you gamble. You roll the dice one way, and Kosh comes out, undoes it. Some guys are on the right side, some guys lose out. And Turner, looking at the white flag, looking for his second win in Season 6. He hadn't won a Cup Series race at all up in 5 seasons, and it looks like he's going to go 2 races in Season 6. I can't believe it. Grant Turner on the strategy has been perfect. He's going to have to coast this car all the way back to the start-finish line. Linz is within 3 seconds, but if he has enough fuel, Grant Turner will call himself victorious. White flag in the air from Earhart Holmes. Love where you live. And there he is, Grant Turner across the line. He loves where he lives. He's in victory lane.
What a call from the 39, man. I can't believe it. You know, he pulled it off at Dover a few weeks ago, and that was nothing short of spectacular. And Man, he has done the math here again. The pit fuel strategist, as he's becoming known now. That is a a decision that's paying off in spades right now. Is he is working for every possible contingency. It looks like Justice Murphy getting pushed back around to pit road. Michael Call giving him some help here. He was the other guy who was staying out the whole way. And for the 12, was able to bring this thing home fourth. So a great effort for Justice Murphy there late. But Grant Turner, man, what can you say other than phenomenal job on the math once again, and executed on that last stage, and has had another one fall the right way with the strategy he's trying to put in place. Crazy stuff.
Fantastic drive. That was enough fuel to get the tires to light up. That's all he's got left. He's parked it here on the front stretch. And with that, it's time to take you through those final race results. Really quickly here, we're going to run through your top 10, get those final race results, and get an interview with Grant Turner. So here we are. Your top 3 we'll get a word with in just a moment. Lenz and Burns up front all day. Didn't bring their calculators to Texas Motor Speedway. Justice Murphy's going to finish in 4th. Michael Call a top 5. Murphy pushed across the line, as you mentioned there, back around the racetrack, had just enough fuel for a top 5. Al Likens finishing in 6th. That car was bad fast all day, but once it got to around that 5th, 6th position, just couldn't find that little bit to get up there into the top 5. Tyler Harrison will finish in 7th spot, top 10 car all day. And again, Jeremiah Nelson, keep it up. This is a championship run for you as well. Dakota Floyd going to finish in 9th. Trevor Earhart, great recovery, rounding out your top 10.
Looking back to 11th here, that'll be Dylan Picklesheimer, who had a couple of wild rides, but I guess
Sorry about
that. All good. All
Broke
good.
it.
He'll finish 11th. Rob Rader will finish 12th here today after winning the pole here this evening. Trevor Keith will finish 13th. Grant Thorpe in that 14th spot, just ahead of Michael Bennett, rounding out that top 15. Kevin Orlando Jr. going to bring it home 16th ahead of Brandon Richardson in that 17th spot, with Parker Johnston, Christopher Schaefer, and Daniel Holloway rounding out the top 20.
21st spot going to go to Justin Ritchie. We saw Ritchie lead some laps, but had to bring it down pit road. Not enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. Jacob Sirkovich is going to finish in 22nd after starting 28th. That's a net positive for the 88 team. Ben Lapter, who had to avoid an incident there at the midway point in this race, end up with some damage. He'll finish the last car on the lead lap. Here's where things get a little ugly. Ryan Munoz, looking really good there. Was passing for the top 10. Ends up 24th, a lap down. Speeding violation on pit road. Sam Taylor, heavy damage. He's going to finish 25th. Then you have Joe Joya, who had a self-spin there after contact with the wall. Caleb Gilbert, 27th, damage on the 54 after iRacing's lack of yellow. Kyle Stewart, we saw 3 wide. Brandon Pamitat, he's also an early exit here tonight. Kyle Diaz quietly exited this session, I believe. Nick Alves involved in that incident with Caleb Gilbert, and Alex Forget Berube also involved in that as well. But it was 5 cautions, 16 lead changes, and it was 6 tenths of fuel Grant Turner had as he came across turns 3 and 4. He is so happy that he chose that strategy yet again. The same strategy that worked at Dover gets him his 2nd win here in the Cup Series. And I gotta say, Grant Turner, congratulations again. Fantastic strategy call. I know that these guys are probably going to get tired of this. You out here, you're outwitting them here. What is it about you that just you say, okay, I'm going to just focus on this week? Is it like this? I love to beat these guys on wit.
I mean, I would love to win on pace, but I'm not as good as you think. I'm normally a top 15, top 20 driver. If it means I have to do these strategies to get even better points, I don't know what to do.
Well, we go back to the start of this race. You started in 18th. You had fallen out of the top 20 at one point in this race. I believe you picked up maybe a skim of damage at some point there with one of those incidents. I think there was a piece. I don't know. There's something about your paint scheme here on the overlay that makes me think you have damage sometimes. But then
I
suddenly
did have damage.
Okay, so this week I was right. This week I was right.
Yes.
But you go through this race and the progressions and the strategies and they're continuously changing. How do you keep up with something like that?
OCD, ADHD, I don't know. I mean, if you
how many
saw...
acronyms does it take to strategize this race?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I have so many overlays on my screen, and one of them is a fuel calculator, and I am watching that all the time now because of how many times it's helped me out in getting a good finish like this.
Well, I
or
think
even the past
you
4 races.
Grant, I think you should just, not tell anyone anything about your setup or what you do. Keep it hush-hush. It seems to be working for you here in Season 6. 2 wins now in the Cup Series. We knew you could win. You got victories at Super Speedway, at Atlanta there in the Truck Series. We've talked to you before up here in the booth, but this season is looking special.
Yes. I do want to formally apologize to that quick yellow we had that I believe it was Sam Taylor that spun on the restart. Right in front of him was me, and my internet actually blipped out for a minute. So he didn't know what was going on, and it set off a chain reaction. So I do apologize to the entire field for that and anyone that got damage.
Yeah, we did go back and recap that. I was kind of wondering myself what happened there to Sam Taylor. We thought it was an equipment malfunction on his end because the car, just snapped free, but maybe netcode or telemetry issues. Grant, not to take away from this win, fantastic drive. Another surprise. You never cease to amaze on the fuel calculator. Anybody you want to shout out here for this win at Texas?
I do want to thank all of you there in Vspeed for putting on an amazing show. Racing Revolution, all their sponsors for providing said show. I do want to thank Splash and Go Graphics for this livery. And I do want to thank my sponsor, my dad, who you'll hear about in a later race whenever we get to the race I sponsor, called Unduplicatable. More information on that later.
Well, it wasn't unduplicatable this week. You got done at Dover. You did it again at Texas. Congratulations. And we'll talk to you in 2 weeks' time. You are definitely stapled into the All-Star race.
Yes, I am. See you then.
Man, fantastic. I sometimes you can appreciate something like that. And when it happens, lightning never strikes the same place twice. Okay. Well, Grant Turner just said, I'm going to do it again. And you guys have to deal with me into this championship because he has sealed the deal. I think it's on to the next one, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. And we'll be back with the rest of your top 3 here from Racing Revolution.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus, it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
Back here live. Excuse me. I'm going to try this again. You know what, Alex? I can tell it's coming back. Just go ahead.
All right. Welcome back, folks, here at Texas Motor Speedway. We were just joined a moment ago by our race winner, Grant Turner. Joining us now is going to be our runner-up here tonight and two-time winner this season, Carter Linz. We'll bring him on in here to the booth. Hey there, Carter. This is Alex and Bradley in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Right here.
Well, they say all good things must come to an end at some point. The three-peat, not in the cards today, but I mean, still a stellar run for you. Second row start, front row finish. Led a bunch of laps in the process. Once again, just the way the strategy worked out at the end of the race, you were on the fresh equipment just trying to track down people, stretching their fuel for all it was worth. How do you assess a day like today where I think it was pretty safe to say you once again had the fastest car on the track? Things just didn't fall the right way at the end.
Yeah, you know, getting this far in the race, it is a little frustrating to get here at the end and, you know, get the right fuel strategy, get the right tire strategy, everything's falling your way. You're leading laps throughout the whole race. You're battling at the front, and then Grant does it again. Does a strategy. He's got 2 on the season. It is frustrating. I mean, you got to give him credit where credit's due. I mean, he's incredible at fuel saving, and it paid off again the second time. So, props to Grant for getting another win this season. But no, it is nice finally having a strong string of races here. We're getting good results. But man, was wanting to go 3 in a row, but had a little wrench thrown in there at the end. So. Happy still with a second place finish.
And to that point, I mean, you came into today with a not astronomical, but a healthy points lead coming into this. You'll obviously be expanding that leaving here today with you finishing ahead of the 9. So how do you look at this start of the season so far? I mean, obviously, you know, you've had a couple that feels like they may have slipped away from you. But I don't think it's a stretch to say right now you are the person that everyone has their eyes on. It's like that's the car we got to beat if we want to hit the victory lane so far this year. How do you kind of internalize that and how the season's been so far?
Oh yeah, right at the start of the season, the first couple 5-6 weeks, I think it was. You know, everything laid out right. Just cards didn't fall the right way. Was getting involved in little hiccups here and there, getting into some wrecks, but starting to clean it up and just trying to figure out what guys are doing, where things are fast, putting a little bit more time with the team and on my own, just trying to see in official races where grip is at, what others are doing outside of this league, and just trying to build some more speed, more momentum. And before I got pulled in here, me and Jeremy were talking a little bit, and me and him both agreed where I think the last 10 to 12 laps, I should say, on the fuel run, on the fuel mileage, he was faster than me. It's the battle of getting around me is the first thing. So, no, just got to keep a full head of steam forward, keep tacking on top 5s, top 10s, podiums here, maybe a win here again, coming weeks. No, just trying to do whatever I can to stay ahead in the 9.
I'll tell you what, did just that here tonight with that second place finish. And of course, we will be seeing you in a couple weeks here when we get to the All-Star race. But Carter, anyone you'd like to shout out here tonight on the podium finish?
Shouting out first foremost, Racing Revolution for allowing me to be here every week. Like I always say, it's a great group of guys to be around. Always competitive. Vspeed, you two in the booth. broadcast every week. I know friends and family all watch it, and I know they always say it looks like it's the real deal. So all the sponsors of the league, Chapman Environmental, Lindsay and Air Conditioning, Earhart Homes, All About Bugs, everyone that puts this all together for all the production and all that. All the friends and family that are watching. I know my parents are out there. They're watching. My girlfriend Sarah, she's waiting for me. So, no, keeping it simple here. It's a pleasure to be here every week and continue and try to put on a good show for you guys.
Well, it's a pleasure having you in the booth here with us as well, Carter. And I feel like we've gotten a chance to talk to you a lot over the past couple weeks. And if this kind of results keep up, I have no doubt we'll keep seeing you as a regular up here at the end of these. But congrats on the second place, and we'll catch you in a couple weeks here for the All-Star race.
Yeah, catch you guys then.
And that is your second place finisher here tonight, Carter Linz, driving that 66 machine to a second place finish.
One more driver to talk to here in the top 3. It's going to be the 9 of Jeremy Burns, Metroplex number 9. Jeremy, I don't know which Metroplex. Do you have the mortgage company, the energy company, the concrete company? Which one is it? I have failed to learn this information.
It's Metroplex retaining walls.
Okay, so they have nothing to do with the energy company, because I was going to make a play on you need more fuel. You need to figure this out. Whatever this calculator, do they make calculators? Because, man, again, you guys getting this fuel strategy. We saw it at Dover, and the race just kept changing, and the numbers were iffy at best, and it worked. I don't know how else to say it, but the fastest car didn't win tonight.
No, and I mean, here's the thing. If you catch a body on the racetrack, then apparently that gives you 1 to 2 laps more fuel. And when you run the back like that, you can throw caution at the wind and do whatever strategy you want to do. So, I mean, props to him for making the most of it, but by no means was he ever in contention tonight to win that. And it's extremely frustrating, especially, for myself who, I mean, Carter got by me, so I should have finished second, but coming home with the third place finish. Just overall great points day. Love to continuously get good finishes here for the Metroplex chain wall number 9. Especially after a week like last week. Super disappointed at Watkins Glen. Wanted to get back out here. Actually just finished up my last bit of schoolwork, my last exam today, so officially have no more college work. We'll be graduating here, not this weekend, but the following weekend. So just wanted to get out of here with a decent finish, good points day, and that's exactly what we did.
Well, that is a much more, and I'm actually having some problems with my overlays here. Let me fix that there. Jeremy, I apologize to that. Not only did I not know Metroplex's sponsorship, but then I put Carter Linz up on the screen for ATVO has been great today. So let's go back. You're graduating here. You got a lot on your mind. You got the college series. You've got 101 other things going on. You come out here with a frustrating day, but you get to talk to us.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, nothing that's frustrating on here will ever translate to anything or any sort of frustrations in real life. But just knowing that we had a very quick car day and, we potentially had the winning car. As an organization, we did amazing. All of our cars were in the top 13. Justice even came out and did a similar fuel strat to Carter there, Grant. So just really huge props to the team for doing that. Just unfortunately, we were put in a situation where, a lot this season where cautions come out during the fuel cycle, which opens it up for cautions where they fell and allows for people to save. And as unfortunate as it is, you just got to keep going on the next week. Got to tip your cap off. But, if you're going to win the race, then you better do it without wrecking people else. It's going to come back around. Luckily, he hasn't done anything to me, but I know that there are many frustrations within the league with him in particular. So just happy for him. Hopefully he has long-term success, but if he keeps driving the way that he is, you're not going to see that.
Jeremy, we appreciate you coming up here and talking to us, and I can sense the frustration a little bit here. I know that we still have a lot of racing left to be done here. 2 weeks at time. We're going to the All-Star race, which you're definitely a part of. And I know we got a long points battle before we make it to that final 10 weeks. So go ahead and shout them out.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out my mom and dad, Josie, Coach P, Sonny, my grandma, Miss Betsy, Julie, Derek, Caroline, Shan, Belinda, Betty, Colleen, Tommy, Chrissy, Dana, and Dylan. All the other supporters out there tonight. Rolling Thunder, Lightning Fast, Metroplex for being on the hood, Chapman Environmental, Coastal Financial, Ultimate Exterior Lighting, Arrowhead Homes, sponsoring the race tonight. So huge shout out to them. All About Bugs, you all up here at Vspeed. Can't wait to go back and watch this again. Watch everything except the last few laps, right? All the admins and drivers except Grant Turner and everybody else who made this possible.
Jeremy Burns making the feelings heard. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time on I believe the 20th here coming up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, guys.
Well, I know that maybe this is I don't know what your take is on that, Alex, but
my takeaway is not a popular win tonight, which I suppose I can't be shocked by, but I also wonder how our thoughts of it would be if we were seeing, like, when we went through the replay of that restart incident. Obviously, because of the blip, we couldn't see that's what caused Sam Taylor to get the delayed start. So I wonder if our thoughts on it would have been very, very different otherwise. But yeah, that's should be making the rest of the season interesting. I can tell you that much.
There might have been something else that happened that we missed throughout the race.
I think it's a reference back to Dover with Raider on that restart as well, which was the other one that the 39 found his way to victory lane to. So, correlation and causation, never the same thing. But I have a feeling that some of the drivers in the field might be looking at the fact that there could be a little bit of overlap between, the couple of the restart incidents and the couple of the race winners from Dover and from this week. But
if I'm Grant Turner, I think that's tackling fuel for next week, or the next one that counts for points. I'm coming out here with the same approach. I'm going to try to play the fuel strategy to the T. It seems to work for him. And if you can get, 6-7 wins in a season by doing that, we have lots of racing left to be done here. And speaking of that, I might be letting the cat out of the bag. Nobody told me not to, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. But we do have another format here in 2 weeks' time at Martinsville Speedway. So it's the All-Star event. All-Star drivers that are locked into this event with Rob Rader, Nick Alves. You have Michael Reed, Brandon Richardson, Kevin Orlando Jr., Michael Call, Jeremy Burns, Tyler Harrison, Matt Robinson, just to name a few. But it's an all-star format at Martinsville Speedway. How about this? MX-5s, the Miatas. Going to be a different format. Qualifying will be held single car. We will be broadcasting that qualifying here, and it be released from the 2025 point standings. Drivers who have won this season or last season should be locked into it. There you go on your screen. 30 laps in the All-Star Open, the All-Star main event, 100 laps, competition caution at lap 50, and that will be in 2 weeks' time at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, May the 20th. I'm looking forward to it, Alex.
Yeah, that should be a ton of fun. Miatas at Martinsville, always a blast. And it's also fun to see the drivers jump into something that they're not typically practicing as often. Because you start to see, who's gotten really, really good at the next-gen car versus who might be really good at the Miatas or picking up one car and dropping to the next. We might see some shake-up there from that. And plus, with the field being a bunch of folks who have won over the past year or two, it's going to be a fireworks show. I have no doubt about that.
Hope you can join us there again at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for everybody at Vspeed. Adam Baker, my co-commentator Alex Gagnon. Our camera packs provided by Dougie Beard, Rob Rader, and the Racing Revolution. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Texas Motor Speedway. Congratulations, Grant Turner, on his second win. Stay tracking, everybody.